Do you seek answer to human experience? Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2.5-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers. And you can transform your life right now on VCMG in South Florida. SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2.5 hours, listen and call in toll-free 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch SarahSpiritual live on Facebook and YouTube and share love and light.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have hurt each other. The world is changing now. It's asking us to move along, to open up a different way of loving one another. We can't stay the same. We've lost the game of life. We can't run away anymore. The world is changing now. We need to heed the warning. The world is calling you to rise above where you've been. The world is changing now. What we did before doesn't work. It's time for you. It's time for me to change. The world is changing now. Won't you change and open your heart? Open your heart.
Open your heart right here,
on the oldies station. We're welcoming your phone calls at 866-972-7247 all across the nation. And as we tune in, we're going to tune in. We're going to tap in. We're going to explore the journey of spirit. So tonight, it's all about you. It's about your questions. It's about spirit's answers. It's about the journey of your life and how we can best connect individually and collectively. So much going on in the world, and every day I get the question, what's going to happen next? Well, so much can happen next. There's always a shift and a change that's all around us, and we have to be aware. We have to be tuned in, and you need to know who you are and what your spirit wants you to do. Your own personal intuition, which everybody has. Everybody has the ability to tune in, to tap in, to know. But how do you know that you know? How can you discern a message from spirit or a thought from your head? I was just talking to somebody earlier today, and I said to them, I need you to stop thinking with your thoughts and planning with your mind and trying to make things happen that way. I need you to feel the journey of your soul and let your soul bring you into alignment with what's the right choice for you and what's the right timing for what you want to do. Because usually when people are looking for guidance, they're looking for an answer, they're looking for parameters, they're very quick to be very focused on what they've already discovered and what they think is going to happen and what statistically, strategically, analytically, intelligently is meant to happen. They've got a story. And the minute you get lost in that story, you're not connecting. Yes, the brain is a beautiful, functional computer in our being, and that brain holds memory. It holds information, and it has the ability to compute facts and spit out answers. But some of the answers that we receive that are spit out are also based on experiences and conditions and beliefs that we have that may be subject to other people's influence. So some things that are in our mind are not as factual as we think they are. That's why we have to drop down and we have to go tune up to spirit. Have you ever had that voice inside of you that said, I don't think that's a good idea? And then you do something and later on you're like, wow, I knew I shouldn't have done that. That's the voice. And of course, spirit isn't just here to tell you what you're doing wrong. They're not here to, spirit guides and angels are not here to condemn you and make you feel like you can't do anything without checking with them. No one's asking you to ask permission. No one's asking you to not have a single original thought in your mind and just be a expression of whatever is being fed to you from the universe and not have your own unique personality. That's why God gave you a personality. God gave you personality so that you could express yourself in your own unique way, and that is the differential factor between you and other people. Your personality. Your personality, which is also labeled as ego, and your personality and your ego are also formed by experiences you've had in this lifetime that have been conditioned by the people that have raised you in your tribe, and also conditioned by the experiences that you carry through you from other lifetimes. Because we have cellular memory, things are just tied up in the past. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday. I had a lot of conversations with people, I got to tell you. But yesterday I was talking to someone, and we were trying to understand this animosity between a mother and a daughter. And it was a difficult place because the mother's, of course, distraught that she's on the outs with her daughter. And she doesn't feel like she's done anything to really warrant that. And sometimes we can't make sense of how people feel, how they react. Maybe their recollection, their interpretation of a past event is well, their version, their perception is their reality. And we as the adult, or she as the parent, as the mother in the story, maybe she doesn't see it that way. So there may be some of that. I know there's some of that. But then there's this deep-seated energy of angst and anger and almost resentment that's still there even when I peel back those layers. And that tells me that that's a past life, that the soul carried over something that it had to learn in this life, and they have to learn to make peace or agree to disagree and go their separate ways. And I know in a family situation, that's not often what we want to hear, but I got to tell you, I mean, I love people's families, and I know a lot of us have fabulous, fabulous, fabulous families. But then there are some families, you are better off just saying, you know what, we were born together, we grew up together, it's been nice sharing space with you, but at this moment in time, it's time for us to explore new ways individually, so drop the mic, I'm out. And just go. Because it's not healthy for you. It's just like relationships. Relationships aren't healthy when they have so much conflict and resentment and anger and frustration. It's not healthy. But people stay there and they make excuses for themselves, for their partner. And I've got to tell you that the universe is always sending us messages. And the universe is always saying, hello? Are you sure you know what you're doing? We have so much to tell you. And you're not listening. There's this feeling inside of you. Now, most of us can relate to the feeling that says, uh-oh, I got a bad feeling. Or I have that pit in my stomach. But not everybody recognizes the voice of God that comes as a whisper. That says to you, hey, I got something better for you. I've got a beautiful flow for you of energy. But you just have to be willing to change. Another conversation I had about spirit and someone is, their work or lack thereof. I'm like, okay, well, we're going to have to do something. We're going to have to move one piece on the board of life so the universe can let other things come in. You're standing there stuck. You're stuck. We know you're stuck. You're stuck. You can't stop feeling stuck, but you're going to continue to be stuck if you keep sitting there stuck because that's all you got is stuck. So do one thing. Change one thing. Sometimes in the energy of procrastination, it begins with cleaning your house, rearranging things, just starting to move energy. And then we have to do something. Oh, but I'm not getting any callbacks. I'm not doing. Then go out and volunteer. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know. Anybody can be of assistance to you. But if you're staying stuck in your house, in our, as we do as humans, woe is me moments, and then being grappled by fear, just can't even think what to do, and you're just looking at your bank account and seeing it just go down, 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 and you don't have a plan past a few months from now, which I'm sure many people can relate to right now. What are we going to do? Maybe you meet somebody who's a volunteer and they have a business idea and you've got a skill set to help them launch their business, and they're like, come on, let's do this. But you wouldn't know if you didn't volunteer. Go to a animal shelter if you don't know where to volunteer. Pets make great company. But do something. Make phone calls, talk to different people, get ideas, journal. Go back to where you were when you were little and say, what was my dream? What made me feel good? We've talked about that on this show so many times. What's your little boy, little girl dream? And how can it best serve you? It's so important that you take yourself out of the rut, you take yourself out of the panic, and you trust that something can happen. And even when you make a mistake, yes, indeed, there are people who make mistakes. We all make mistakes. What if you're doing something at your job and you make oops, I really messed up, and you lose your job? That happens. It happens all the time. Sometimes the work environment is a little toxic and you had a feeling you needed to leave and you wanted to leave, but you didn't leave and you weren't happy and you were wrestling with that, but you thought, well, I shouldn't leave, but I'm not happy. And you kept whining within yourself. And then the universe got tired of listening to you. So the universe said, oh my God, we're going to have to pull them out one way or another if they don't jump. And the ship is sinking. And that's not happening. They're not doing what they need to do. And then what you don't know behind the scenes, which was part of the energy you were picking up on, is there were some coworkers that were really stirring up trouble for you, and they really didn't like you, or maybe your boss was threatened by you, or there was some crazy drama going on. And the universe kept making you think, hey, don't you want a new job? Hey, why don't you look? And you're like, no, there's nothing out there. I shouldn't leave. Blah, blah, blah. And you had this conversation. And then the next day you had a conversation with yourself that said, I'm so miserable at my job. I don't know. And suddenly the universe says, all right, we're going to give you what you want. You don't have where you think you're going to land because you got nothing. Because we sent the SOS to you. We let you know. Jump now. And you didn't. Next thing you know, you're in your boss's office. They're firing you and you don't have a job. Well, doesn't that send us in a tizzy? And many of us have been there. Unexpectedly, something happens in our job or the company closes. Maybe it's not as dramatic as people ganging up on you. I know not everything's a soap opera, although some workplaces are. And we have this experience of we were warned. We had a feeling. We had a desire. We pushed it down. We wanted to stay in status quo because that's what we know and that's what makes us comfortable. But if everything in the world is continually changing and spirit is always bringing new things in front of you, why in goodness gracious name would you want to hold on to stale stuff? Now, for those of you who've eaten Wonder Bread, that stuff can pretty much last a very long time. We question what's in it these days. But have you ever let it sit out for a while and then finally it was stale? Not moldy, but stale, because even that takes a while to form, which makes me again question, what's in Wonder Bread? It's a wonder. And your piece of bread gets really stale. And you're sitting there going, well, I love Wonder Bread, and I know I should have eaten it sooner, but I don't want to waste it, so I'm going to eat it this way. You know how many times you probably had the chance to eat that Wonder Bread, but you said, no, I'm not going to eat it. No, I'm going to save it for later. No. And you have this whole conversation. And you know that to really enjoy this bread, we have a certain window of time that it's at its freshest and most enjoyable and not questionable. So why didn't we eat it? Sometimes we don't feel like it. That's a preference. And we're allowed to have our preferences. But other times, there's something gnawing at you, pushing you. And you're like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then down you go. Right? Or you know you really want to take a trip, but you know you really shouldn't take a trip. But then you take the trip. And then when you come back from your trip, you've got all this stuff that you've got to pay for. And what's the first thing you say? I knew I shouldn't have taken the trip. Wah, wah, wah. Was there a feeling before you took the trip you shouldn't have taken the trip? Were you worried that something that broke, maybe somewhere in your house or somewhere, was going to break, and sure enough it broke? Which, by the way, focusing on it is going to assist it in its short timeline. But were you thinking about it? Or did you step out in faith and say, well, I'm going to trust the universe is going to cover this and anything that comes up, and I'm going to take my trip because I have complete faith and trust in the universe? There's always that path. And sometimes that's a test of how much you trust. Because the universe is like, trust us now. Ooh, your car broke. Trust us now. Your AC broke. Ooh, trust us now. Yeah, we trust you. And then suddenly something happens and everything's covered and it's all good. But when we're in the minute of it, the moment of it, what happens? You're panicking, you're doubting your own actions. So sometimes we have a gut feeling, and sometimes we just do something because we know we want to. And we also know that when we choose to do something that causes no harm to another, the universe always covers you. There's always something. That doesn't mean that we want to run out and have ourselves in this energy of, I'm going to do whatever I want and the universe has got my back. We're not going to do that. But we do need to know that life is always happening for a reason. And that the universe is always sending us a signal. And you have to ask yourself, am I tuned into the signal? Am I on track? What's the very best choice for me? You have to believe that there's a greater force. Well, you can choose to believe, I guess. But it's so much easier when you do believe. There's a choice. But if you believe that someone can be of service to you that's a higher power, that there's a force of energy, that there are angels, that there are guides, that the presence of God is everywhere, and that everything is always moving in a momentum that is designed by God, and you're not an accident. You're a selected being who's here on the earth at a time when, holy crow, you must have a mission because this is some crazy stuff going on. You're here. You're here for a reason. So we do want to listen to our soul. And we do want to trust that there's a higher voice, a higher calling, a higher something that lets us build a momentum to take us to where we're ultimately meant to be. But don't ignore the signals. Tonight, when you ask a question, when you call in here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, don't ask the question, does he love you? Ask the question, is this for my best and highest good? Or, I'm feeling this way. Is this a signal from Spirit to stay or go? Ask the question that's the real question, because most of you don't ask the questions that will really get you the truth of the matter. You want to ask the question that's on the surface, because very often we can't handle the truth. Ask the question. Ask the question, how do I pivot to create the best momentum for my life? How do I listen to Spirit? Because yes, we've been here for 15 plus years. And yes, we have 762 live shows under our belt as of tonight. But you have your own guidance. I love to serve as your confirmation or as your tour guide in the journey of life that says, hey, look over there. If you just look over there, you'll see the clues and it looks something like this. And then you're like, by George, I've got it. I know exactly what to do now. That's what we're striving for. That's why we dedicate this time, that we can have this time together on the phones. And that your question is someone else's question. You're not alone in your question. If you're in a 5-year relationship and you don't know what to do and you feel stuck and you're wondering if your partner's going to change, and sometimes it's not their fault, it's just a combination of the two of you, and you're wondering what to do, your question represents probably 30,000 of the people listening tonight. So your question matters to you and it matters to others. If you're out of work and you're looking for work and you just really want to know how to find your next opportunity or what to look for or what the timeline could possibly be, there's someone else hanging on a thread of hope, just going, oh God, please, let her say the planets are changing, the energy's changing, that miracles are being born by May 1st because I'm hanging on a thread. Then your question makes a difference for you and someone else. If you're in a health crisis and you're asking Spirit, am I going to be okay? First thing we always want you to believe is that, yes, you will be okay. That there are miracles available for all of us. God does those miracles. And we just need to believe. we also need to listen. When you're sitting across from a doctor and you're thinking to yourself, I hear what they're saying, and I'm not saying that what they're saying is inaccurate, but I don't feel that this doctor is the doctor for me, and you're feeling that, then I don't care what insurance you have. Go find another doctor that takes your insurance that you feel like this is the doctor for me. If you feel like this isn't the right move for you, then ask more questions. Can't tell you not to do what the doctor says because I'm not a doctor. I cannot diagnose. But you have to follow your intuition. So many people got caught up in so much in these past 5 years having to do with all sorts of medical things and all sorts of things that were going on in the world. And some people regret their choices. Some people wish they listened to their intuition. There are people everywhere who had a sign from the universe, take care of this. It could be a problem, and they ignored it in their health. And then later on, it comes to pass. So we are co-creating with God sometimes by default because we're not listening. So I'm looking forward to co-creating with all of you tonight, right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah at 866-972-7247. We're going to be answering questions on Facebook, on YouTube, all across the nation. So please call in, join the conversation, call your friends, say, hey, you got a question? Let's talk to Sarah Spiritual. Spread the word. We'd love to talk to you here on the Oldie Station. And we will be right back in just a moment as soon as we hear from our commercials. Stay with us.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WFLM 104.7 HD3 Palm Beach Shores, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies Channel.
SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next 2 hours of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another 2 hours to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have hurt each other. The world is changing now. It's asking us to move along, to open up a different way of loving one another. We can't stay the same. We've lost the game of life.
No, we can't stay the same. It's time to change.
Run away.
And we've got to look ourselves in the mirror and make the choices that are best for our highest good. And if you're just joining us here live on the Oldies Station, you are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. We're calling in, we're asking questions, and we are tuning into Spirit because I hear voices and they tell me answers, and then I share them with you. And Well, that's just a fun way of saying it, but we've been hanging out here for quite a while, and we're so glad to have you joining us here on the Oldie Station on 95.3, 95.9, 96.9, 106.9, 104.3, and WSFS in Miami, 104.7 HD3 and 103.1 HD3. We definitely get around here in South Florida, and we're so happy to talk to all of you. And we're going to say hi to our friends on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you have a question, pop it in the feed. Leave your question in the feed, Facebook or on the YouTube channel. If you're just joining us, follow the page, join the page, follow us on YouTube, share in the conversation, and be a part of our family. We've got some things coming up real quick I want to talk about at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. That's a metaphysical store where you can have all the tools that you need to create your spiritual journey. We've got books, we've got crystals, we've got statues, we've got fairies, we've got beautiful singing bowls, we've got Buddhas, we've got bracelets and all sorts of herbs and oils and mists and sprays and incense, from a sage to a Palo Santo to incense sticks to incense that I create. We've got so much for all of you there at the Expedito Enlightenment Center, but we also teach there. And that's where you can find our Everyday Rituals class that's coming up on April 8th. And that's how to create little rituals for yourself, little prayers, little meditations, things that you can do every day to keep yourself in alignment. And the more you stay in alignment with your daily connection to the divine, the easier it's going to be to hear that spirit message that's trying to connect to you and give you all the tools you need to connect to the divine on a daily basis. So Everyday Rituals, that is Tuesday, April 8th. It is only $16, and it is at 7:30 p.m. live at the Expedito Center and also live online. So if you're not local in South Florida, that's okay. I'd love to see you at the Expedito Center or love to see you online. So go ahead and visit SarahSpiritual.com. We're also having our wonderful class coming up that is really an evolutionary class. We're really helping people evolve. It is the Evolutionary Experience program, and that Evolutionary Experience is coming up at the end of April. It is a program, and I'd love to have you join us. If you'd like to learn more about that, you can go to SarahSpiritual.com. I've got healing happening at the Expedito Enlightenment Center, too. We've got Calvin Cates, and Calvin's going to be there. I believe the date is April 3rd and April 4th. It is a Friday and Saturday, the first week in April. He'll be doing the crystal healing bed work. Casa Dom Ignacio from Brazil is the energy that we're tuning and tapping into. And it's a very profound work. It heals on the emotional, spiritual, and physical, energetic level. So we'd love to have you sign up for a session for that. You can go to the expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com, EXPEDITO, expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com, and there you can register for your session with Calvin Cates. And then, of course, there's me hanging out at the center every day, answering questions for people on a one-on-one personal session. So if you'd like to have a personal session with me live at the Expedito Center in West Palm Beach, then you can go to SarahSpiritual.com. You can go to the expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com and register for a session. Or if you are not local, but you say, hey, I think Sarah's got a message for me, you probably are right, and I would love to talk to you. And you can visit me online at SarahSpiritual.com, and we can do it virtually by phone or video. Well, enough of all of that. We've got so much on the phone lines. We've got so much going on all across the nation on Facebook and YouTube. Get those questions in Facebook. Let's share the page. Let's share the light. Let's share the love. Let's make it happen. I've got to go to Deerfield Beach. I've got Cheryl online. Cheryl, who is live here on our phone line. How are you, Cheryl?
Hi, I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing, Sarah?
I'm doing well.
I was listening to you speak for the last half an hour, and it sounded like you were speaking to me when you spoke about how suddenly your job can be here 1 minute and then it's gone the next, and
yes,
that the universe and spirit's trying to tell you and give you a little nudge and you don't listen. I could definitely relate to all of that.
Yes, and I think you were one of the people I had flashing through my little head when I was saying all that. And I was like, gee, that sounds like quite a few people's stories. But I have to say,
Yes.
Cheryl, because I know for a little while you were beating yourself up over that as well, but I want you to know
Mm-hmm.
that everything happens for a reason. And
Yes.
even though we're mad at ourselves because we didn't take a clue or two,
Mm-hmm.
we really shouldn't be, because everything always works out in the end. The universe is always conspiring to assist you every day. It's never conspiring against you.
It's amazing how it works out, and it always does work out, and everything
Yes.
is going to always be all right. And I have now a better understanding and much more clear communication with the spirit world since all of this transformation and self-talk and isolation and time to myself. It's just amazing how powerful it is. And just if we could listen and tune into that, I think, we would be better off and have more of a direction, which is why I wanted to reach out to you tonight. I saw what you were focusing on tonight, and I thought that's a perfect time for me to call in, because Spirit does have so many messages, and I'm trying to tune into them, and I have to make a very big decision over the next week, and I just need a little bit of guidance, because I'm trying to make a very important decision to uproot from Missouri, where I've created a life and made friends and am doing well and sustaining myself and my family from afar,
Right.
to relocate to another location where I have extended family that I haven't seen in a while in Connecticut. And I actually went around my agency that I work for and took the incentive to seek out a position to see if it was available. And oddly enough, I spoke to someone, and she said that they are looking for a position during the night for exactly what I'm doing now in my specialty department. And I thought, wow, that's kind of ironic. But I took the initiative, and I'm trying to put things in place. The only
Correct.
reason for apprehension is because it's a little bit, well, first of all, I have to cancel out everything here and start over.
Okay.
And also it's more expensive.
Hold on. I need you to breathe. You're doing
Okay.
exactly what I said in the monologue, how we all have all these reasons why intellectually we are pushing and moving and doing, and right.
Mm-hmm.
You have to ask yourself, why are you really doing this, which I don't want you to answer on air. And being near family, is it really all that what it's meant to be? That's another question. And you finally have a place that you can call home and feel home. And I'm going to say something that means no disrespect, but my spirit guides remind me that even sometimes when you were here, home, things didn't feel like home, and you were ready to just lose your mind. And so you finally have found peace. Why are we going to stir things up right now?
Well, moving to Connecticut would bring me closer to family that I haven't seen in a while, and that is extended family, not my immediate family in Florida. And I thought, well, my contract is almost done here. It will be finished in July. Maybe this is an opportunity for me to have a permanent position there. And the only apprehension is because it's more expensive there. I do have the option to live with my aunt, my mother's sister, who has lots of space, but I have gotten accustomed to living alone.
Complicated. We finally got some space to ourselves. Now we're going to go throw ourselves in someone else's house. Good Lord.
I know. Well,
and you can, and I do believe, that we talked about, hear me, that there was an opportunity that you could probably create for yourself right there in Missouri, the show me state. And even though that contract ends, maybe a new one would come up, or you could find a full-time position there doing something similar to what you're doing, right? Didn't we talk about that last time?
I think so.
Okay. Before you fly the coop, explore all options there. Extended family means we don't know them that well. Yes, it would be great to get to know them, but what if you step into something that's chaotic. You know the environment that you just created for yourself. You asked for peace. You asked for tranquility. You asked to have certain things in place for yourself that you finally have co-created. So you came from madness, complete madness of work environment. You came from lamenting over the job and what the job had brought you for many years of dissatisfaction, and you're finally happy and at peace, and we want to go, well, let's go try something else. Does that sit well in your spirit?
In my spirit, it says it's a chance, and I would have to probably find something of my own there, which I could, and then I'd have family closer to live on my own. I'd have to pay for that privilege, and it's more expensive
Correct.
in Connecticut.
It's more expensive,
That.
and you're supporting two households. You're supporting where you are,
That's right.
and then sending money home to the house that we have here, because you're a contract person, right? Who has a travel contract.
That's right.
So
That's
you
right.
have to sit with this, all right? You are rationalizing, and I'm so glad you did this, and I'm so appreciative that you were so forthcoming on air. And I just want you to recognize that we all do this. We all play it in our mind, and we line it up like a Rubik's Cube, and red matches red and blue matches blue, and okay, we made it work. But what you have to go through to get that may not be what you really want. And I'm really pretty sure it's not going to be what you want. Why am I really pretty sure?
Yeah.
I got a feeling. Okay, I got a feeling.
Yeah, and
it's not going to be what you
telling
think.
you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Well, eventually I do have to go home, Sarah.
well, yes, of course, darling. But we finally have a nice flow of money. We have a nice feeling of energy here, and we're establishing ourselves in a niche. And then from this contract, you can get another experience or contract in Missouri. And then from there, you've built a reputation as a contract person in this area of speciality. And then you can call your price when you come back heading to Florida, or, everybody moves to Connecticut. Who knows? But right now, if we don't have to make a rash decision, I wouldn't pull the plug on what we have going. I would definitely see what else is there first. And I would look at Connecticut as like, yes, there's something available, but I would use my time now that we know that there's a possibility for Connecticut to see how spectacular the possibilities can be in Missouri.
Okay. I see your point, and it does make sense with me, and it does resonate well with me. I think the other leap might have been that it's all about timing.
Yes, and sometimes that's the universe's way of showing us, things fall in our lap, but is it what we really want? Sometimes things happen, but we have free will. Is it what you really, really, really want? Or is it just because we asked a question and the square peg fit in the square hole, so it has to be that peg? What if we're supposed to be in the triangle? Maybe we need to go to the triangle. We need to look around. We need to feel. We need to experience. And I say this to you and everyone looking to make a decision. Just because something flies at you doesn't mean God put it before you. It just means that you, the human, poked around and something poked up.
Exactly. I did poke around only on my own initiative. I'm the one who looked and asked because I thought, that might be a nice second opportunity. I tried it here. It's working. Maybe that would work too.
Correct.
And my family is receptive. My aunt is receptive. But
yeah, she's receptive. But,
deep down inside,
it sounds complicated. Next time we talk, we'll talk about your aunt's birthday. But for this minute, Cheryl, we need to go. I appreciate your call and your great questioning, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to your question of, investigating to create change for ourselves, which I encourage people to do. But then we really need to sit with it and say, is it what we really want? Cheryl, thank you so much for listening to the show. I know you've been following us for quite a while, so we greatly appreciate you.
I greatly appreciate you, Sarah. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening.
My pleasure. Bye for now. 866-972-7247. We're going to go to our phone lines and get our questions ready on Facebook and YouTube because we will be getting there next. But we've got to go to Hollandale. We have Joey from Hollandale on the line. Joey, how are you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm kind of like confused a little bit. I'm doing my best to read scripture to get my head, out of my mind or to overthinking. But everything that I thought was working out, kind of like it's not working out. Business-wise, romantic-wise, and I'm like kind of like everybody tells me like, Joey, you're about to grow into a different space, a higher space, and then you're going to that anxious moment when you don't know where you're going, and I really don't know what I'm doing wrong, and I'm just doing the best I can.
All right, well,
I feel like I'm not being listened to.
Let's look at it this way. Why does it have to be that we're doing something wrong? No, it's not that we're doing something wrong. It's just that things aren't happening the way we had hoped or anticipated at this moment. Remember, time is eternal. We as humans fixate ourselves on what we need at the time, what we want. And some is for survival, so of course we have to, right? We're wired in a physical reality. But also remember, Joey, a lot of people's lives are turned upside down right now because I'm not an astrologer, but you've got Venus retrograde. We've got Mercury retrograde. We've got a lot of things shifting and changing. It is a challenging time upon the planet. And so things aren't falling into place because the universe, your guides, your angels, particularly your guides, your angels, are not going to put you in a position to make something work for you that the minute you get comfortable thinking it's working and yay, we finally got it, then you really get the rug pulled out from under you. They're not going to do that to you. You most certainly have great opportunities coming for you because this year is the year of connecting with people. And people who know people, God, I feel like we're supposed to sing Barbra Streisand, people who know people, are the luckiest people in the world. And they're going to be connecting you. And from those connections, we're going to yield great financial wealth this year. And you have been promised by your spirit guide. So now we come into this energy, not just because I said it, but because you had your own messages from spirit. And you are tuning yourself into listening to their messages. You've been doing that for a while. So you know the difference between your crazy mind and spirit's message. You know. But really what everyone's telling you from the universe is you've got to wait. Everything has its time, and you've got to wait.
I had my, could you confirm, somebody told me that my dad was like my chain to hang on to all my life. That no matter what I did in my life, everything would work out, and that he will always be present. He passed in 1965.
Well, I know someone told you that, but, I have to follow what I hear in my head. And your father who passed in 1965, I feel like he's on a different mission than being here to be of availability for you on a consistent basis. I'm sure he's giving you messages from time to time, but I really feel like your father's moved on to other dimensions. I don't feel like your father is still available here. So I don't agree with that statement of whatever someone told you. But, that's their interpretation of the energy. So I'm not here to say anything other than I feel like, yes, your father can give you a message, but I don't feel like he's here to just be right by your side this whole journey. And I'm going to tell you why. Because your father's just a regular guy who's on the other side, and you're working with some of the highest master teachers and angels. And if you've got them by your side, your dad's trying to earn his vibrational, energetic heightening process. He's earning those spiritual elevation wings, so to speak, even though he can't ever be an angel. And you're not the project for him to do that with. He had a soul contract to be your dad so that you could come through on this earth and be a part of your family. And then he left the earth young. And now he's on the other side, elevating. And whenever people, and I need people to hear me, whenever someone is a person who passes of a young age or unexpected, They had a very important part in something important here on earth, and then they have something else important to do, and they leave because of how vibrationally important they are. It is always devastating to us here on earth to lose our parents at a very unexpected young age, when we lose children, when we lose brothers and sisters and cousins, way before their time, or something that's inexplainable, and we're like, how could God let this happen? But your father had a higher purpose.
For him, it was my second birthday, one day before, in 96, my second birthday.
Yeah.
So, and that's the first spirit that I ever saw in my entire life. My clairvoyance started with him, and I felt safe when I saw all the things and masters come in, because I felt that I would always be protected. More or less, and I've been asking all my guides, Melchizedek, that whoever, to show me, God, what is mine to do next, because it's like it got very confusing. I keep showing up for God and setting my intention, and it just doesn't work out. And I really feel, what we're talking about Venus retrograde kind of scares me a little bit, because Venus is my ruling planet as a Libra, and it's in my house of business right now. That's what I understand. Astrologically, so I don't know if I just have to hang in there until April 18th and keep pushing forward.
Correct. You just said it all. Okay. Right? It's in your house of business. It's retrograde. It gives you a chance to reflect and see how you could do things differently and what you'd like to change. But we don't necessarily take the action. We don't expect to get a reaction from something. But it's a good time to kind of clean house in how we do business. Make the changes, right? It's a time of, if Stacy Holler were here with us today, whenever I talk about retrograde, she'll be like, Sarah, retrograde isn't all that bad. It's a time of reflection. I'm like, yeah, but it sure hurts like heck when you're going through it. But she's like, it's a time of reflection.
Yeah.
Okay? It's like a do-over time. I mean, hopefully I'm quoting her correctly. If not, she'll be messaging me later.
I mean, I just can't tell it to the bills, hey, Venus is retrograde. I can't pay you this month.
That's all right.
And I've been, oh my God, I'm sorry. I've been sick. I got the flu. Then I started to throw up for a whole night, it's been crazy.
But
I couldn't work.
It's perfect. It is perfect. And I'm going to tell you, you're purging, you're clearing. It's exactly happening at the perfect time, which means that you are in alignment, but we all have to have that rough patch. It's just unfortunate it's hitting at a time where it's not convenient, but someone show me a rough patch that hits us when it's convenient. It never is a convenient time to have everything go south for a minute, but that's okay.
No.
This too shall pass. And the closer we get to, April 30th, May 1st. In a minute,
I'll turn a corner.
Yes, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's going to be fine.
I always consult everybody. And then the Greek gal is always right.
I don't know who that
You once
is.
told me that. The Greek gal is always right.
Well, Joey, it's a pleasure talking to you. Sorry you weren't feeling well, and we know that things will begin to turn around. And remember, run around the house and say, I am abundant beyond measure. The universe opens multiple spigots of abundance that flows to me and through me, and I am always able to meet every need and desire, and so it is. All right, Joey, thank you so much.
Thank you
You're welcome. Bye for now. Bye. 866-972-7247. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and that's me, Sarah Spiritual. If you'd like to learn more about my work, go to SarahSpiritual.com. You're listening to us on the Oldies Station. We're so glad to hang out with you every Wednesday night from 6:30 to 9 p.m. But for this minute, we're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we're going to go back to our phone lines after we visit our friends on Facebook and YouTube. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Because you know that you know me, I am Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. And so we sure would love to talk to you. At this minute, we've got to pop on, visit our friends on Facebook, our friends on YouTube, see what the comments are, what the questions may be. We're going to answer some right now. So let's see what we've got going in our Facebook page. If you're just joining us here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, we are answering questions on Facebook. You can go to Sarah Spiritual, and you can go to Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. You can also, of course, follow us live on the Oldie station. So we've got Anne-Marie Gambino. She's like, got some news today about my mom, wondering how things will be. Well, Anne-Marie, I do feel that your mom will be okay, is what I'm hearing from Spirit. So Spirit is telling me things will be all right, Anne-Marie. So I don't know that there's anything for you to concern yourself or worry about. I'm getting the sense that everything's going to be all right. With your mom's birthday, I'd be able to tap in a little more specifically to her specific storyline. But the first thing I heard when I read the question is your mom will be okay. So hopefully that's enough to give you the comfort that you need. Anne-Marie, we're really glad to have you follow the show, and thank you so much for your Facebook question. And we're going to go take another question from Facebook and YouTube. Let's see who we have here on our Facebook or YouTube page. Tia Scott, good evening. So she said, here we go. Her supervisor's trying to get her fired for something she didn't do. I've been employed at this establishment for a year. So, Miss Tia Scott, it is unfortunate that this person is kind of waging a war, a campaign against you. And the difficulty here is that it is a very challenging situation because I really feel like she really has this feeling that she does not want you there, and she's trying to get you to be her fall person. I feel like it's a personal vendetta. I feel like she's threatened by you. I feel like she's been really just put off by the fact that you're well received, well liked, Tia. So my suggestion to you is document whatever is going on. You make sure that you record what you've done, and you make sure that all your tasks are complete so that you have something to, of course, combat anything that she starts to do. This person is just simply trying to prove themselves. And I want you to pray from the book of Psalms. I want you to pray Psalm 32, 34, 28, 14, 23, and 27. Read those Psalms to help shift the energy, and that'll keep you protected, and the truth will be able to come out. We're so sorry you're going through this, Tia Scott, but this is exactly one of the things that we talked about in my monologue. So if you find that the work environment is becoming too toxic, then you take initiative and you see if there's another opportunity out there for you. Maybe something even better will come up, and you'll be able to leave and not have to deal with her. But pray for divine justice. I'm sure it'll happen. All right, we're going to go to our Facebook and YouTube. Let's grab another one here before we go back to the phone lines at 866-972-7247. And let's see who we have. We have Marissa Lee. So Marissa says, I hope I can ask about this. I am here in the U.S. Should I be worried about losing my green card that I've had since around a period of time that I can't quite see in the message here? So let's see here. So should she be worried about losing her green card? No, this is not something that you have to worry about. I do not see that that is an issue for you personally, so I don't think you should put any energy. You've had this since 1980 or so, so we do not see a problem with that. You are fine. Don't let the fear get a hold of you, and just trust that the universe is going to support you, and not everything is quite the way it seems as we are all experiencing it. It's going to impact some people, but not everyone, and you are not one of them. So Marissa Lee, thank you so much for your Facebook question. If we've got one more for Facebook and YouTube, I'd love to take it before we go back to our phone lines, because I would love to talk to some of our friends here on Facebook and YouTube. They're always so loyal and kind, and they share the page, they share the show. We're always very grateful for their support. Do we have anybody else on Facebook that we want to take? We've got a YouTube question. So our YouTube person, T. Phillips, says, hey, I was medically tough and I'm still recovering here. So they're still in this recovery. They're grateful, but they really feel like their finances are out of sorts, T. Phillips says. And I want to know what Spirit has for me and how long I'm going to be in this difficult time here, because I feel like financially this has impacted T. Phillips. T. Phillips, it's interesting. Once your birthday comes and we take you into the fall after your birthday, I really feel that financially things are going to really turn around for you. You're going to have much more financial stability. It's a time to create more abundance for yourself. It is a time to shift your financial picture. It is a time for you to open up to new possibilities and new ways of generating abundance, and Spirit does have abundance coming for you. So, T. Phillips, we thank you so much for your YouTube question. And we trust the universe will support you, and we send you the healing angels so that you can feel better and not feel so medically drained. I know it's been a tough journey for you, but I know that there's a healing coming for you. Thank you so much. We're going to go back to our phone lines, and we've got Tammy in Illinois. Tammy, how are you tonight?
Sarah, how are you?
I'm doing well, Tammy. Good to connect with you again. Lot going on with you, yes?
Yeah. My question, though, I lost my sister 3 weeks ago, and I want to know if there's any messages from her.
All right, Tammy. I know you've been listening to the show for a while, and I love connecting people to our loved ones on the other side, but your sister passed seems unexpectedly. Is that correct?
Yeah, she was supposed to have open heart surgery last week, and she died of a heart attack.
Yeah, she passed unexpectedly. I am not able to connect with her directly, but my guides are telling me she passed unexpectedly. We weren't expecting her to go. And because she's still in her transition time, so it does take a while before I'm able to have a conversation directly with her. But my guides assure me that she did not suffer unexpectedly. And believe it or not, whether we wanted it this way, it really was the time for her to go. It was her time, even though it was unexpected to us here on Earth.
Right.
So just know that she is in peace, Tammy, all right?
Okay.
All right. We are sorry for your loss. I know that this is a difficult time, and I know it's also a kind of a challenge because we also are faced with our own mortality as well, right? Because your sister and you are not that far in age. Is that also correct?
Exactly. She was only 59.
Yeah. So, but it was her time.
Yeah.
All right, honey. We're sorry. Our condolences to you and your family. Tammy, thank you so much for your question, and we look forward to talking to you again.
And how long does it take for them to transition over?
That's a great question. Every person is different. It can be anywhere from 6 months to a year. And then every once in a while we get lucky and we catch someone. I remember someone called and their mother had just passed like 2 days ago. And when I looked, I actually saw them in transition. Like I could see them. So everyone's a little different, but your sister is not in a place where I'm able to contact her.
Okay.
All right, honey. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
All right.
Sarah.
You're welcome. Bye
All right.
for now. Bye. 866-972-7247. We're going to go back to our phone lines, and we've got Angie. Angie is in Naples, Florida. Angie, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great, Sarah. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Good to make this connection with you. And what is your question for us here tonight, your higher level learning question for us, for Spirit?
I just want to know if there's any of my loved ones around me, and also not really a question related to what you just said, but I'm wondering how soon I'm going to be able to get a horse for my 10-year-old daughter, and if you can kind of tell us what it's going to look like.
Okay. We have loved ones on the other side. Mother's mother, your grandmother's there. There's also another woman standing under your grandmother, making me feel as if she's in the maternal side of the family, younger than your grandmother, makes me feel like this person is... Did Mom have a sister who passed, please? Because based on her placement, it makes me feel like the person's a sister.
My grandmother's sister was younger than her.
Okay, thank you. So grandmother's sister younger than her. So it's your grandmother's sister who's younger, because I see her standing under your grandma, so that lets me know she's younger than her. So she's with her sister. Grandma's there with her sister. We have on the male side dad, brother, uncle as well. Dad has a brother who passed as well, please.
Yep. Both of his brothers are over on the other side.
One is standing to the left of him, like one he was really close to, like almost like a buddy. We have that uncle there, and there's a brother, okay, on the other side.
Yep.
You are well supported on the other side. Let's talk horses, shall we?
Sure. And I felt all of them a lot lately, so that's amazing that you said that.
Great. It's great confirmation when we know that they're there, and I love that they show themselves to us, right? And I don't know, I just love that they're all together up there. And I wish you all could see it the way I see it, but eventually, as you all meditate, you'll get to get this vibe of what it's like to be connected to them, because we all have your own way of getting your messages, just like you, Angie. You're very spiritual, and you have your messages from your loved ones, and they like to let you know that they're with you. So, Angie, so it is possible that you get a horse for your daughter. Interesting enough, I feel like we are a few months away from that. I don't feel like that's happening just yet. I feel like there's some things that you have to do to make this happen, so everything's not in alignment with getting the horse. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And we want you to take your time. Interestingly enough, I see this horse as like a chestnut brown.
Oh, man, you gave me the chills. That's what she said she wanted.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know what? The horse may have a formal official name, but I really think that we're going to call the horse like Chestnut or Acorn or something. Okay, so that's just what I see. The name of the horse, because this is what I wrote on my paper, Chestnut. And there may be a marking here in the front. Doesn't quite look like a star. It looks a little bit more like a lightning streak or something. It's more of a vertical than a circle dot that looks like a star. So it has a little more vertical look here with a little hint of white in the forehead. That's how I see the horse. And I feel like the horse knows that you're coming.
Oh, wow. That's exactly what I pictured. I literally have the chills.
That's exactly what's waiting for you at the perfect time. That's why we're not going to rush it. And I think it's going to be such a great soul reunion. I really think it's going to be such a great soul reunion.
That's why I keep telling her to be patient, because I'm like, we're going to feel like the energy of the horse, and we're going to know like that's the one.
Right.
So, wow.
Yeah, well, we definitely don't want another color now that we have the color, right? So that's going to get rid of quite a few choices. And it's going to be beautiful. What's your daughter's first name?
Juliana.
And when is Juliana's birthday?
12/12/14.
It's actually the perfect time for her to be getting a horse and connecting in with other people in the equestrian world, and just really kind of delving into this relationship with animals, and particularly the horse. So everything's right on track, Angie.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for your question. Thank you for following the show. We greatly appreciate you, and hopefully we'll see you at our next live event when we put that together. All right. Bye for now.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Looking forward to it.
Bye. 866-972-7247. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on the Oldies Station, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at SarahSpiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. We got callers from everywhere, and I'm so glad to be talking to all of you. And every Wednesday night, we get to chill out, hang out, and see what messages we have. And tonight, we're seeing what spirit messages we have going on. We are going to our phone lines. And I've got to go to West Palm Beach. And in West Palm Beach, I've got Marie. Marie, how are you doing here in West Palm Beach? Good to talk to you again. Marie, are you with us?
Marie, how are you?
Marie, are you there?
Good to talk to you again.
All right, Marie. I don't know. For some reason, we seem to have lost you, Marie. So we're going to pop into Chicago. I got Janet on the line. We in Chicago. And we got Janet. How are you?
All right, Marie. I don't know. For some reason, we seem to have lost you, Marie. So we're going to pop into Chicago.
All right,
I got
let's see.
Janet on the line.
Janet, are you there?
Hi. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Good. Good to talk to you, Janet. Good to have you here.
Good to hear your voice again, too, Sarah.
Oh,
well,
the
my
world
question
is
about
changing. You've got so much going on. You're trying to get yourself on solid ground. Does this make sense to you?
Oh, my gosh. How do you spell overwhelm?
I know. I see it. You're like, oh, my God. It's like you're treading
You
water
do?
and you're like, let me grab a rock. Let me try to get on the land for a minute. I need a break, and I just can't keep treading water anymore. What am I going to do? That's what I see. Is that correct?
Yep. Oh, gosh. Yes. You're spot on. Absolutely. Taking on too much, Took on more than I could, to chew or bite or something, whatever that saying is. But anyway, my question is about my dad. He's 95, and he had 2 heart things in 23, right after Mother's Day, and they said it wasn't heart attacks, but it looks like it. I think it looks like he had it. We don't know, but it doesn't show up in tests. I think I've talked to you last year. We were in rehab and hospitals. He had 2 falls, one at home and one in the nursing home. And anyway, now it's a year later, and his back is not. And it was getting better, and then he had a couple episodes with the osteopath where she took the pillow out from under his legs abruptly, and it sent a surge of pain to his back. Yeah. And then 3 weeks later, she did the same with a neck pillow, and so now his back, and his doctor thinks that with the osteoporosis and things that it was easily fractured, maybe one of the vertebrae.
Yeah, so I can tell you what I see. Let me hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yes.
Let me tell you what I see.
Okay.
I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing. And we're going to go to commercial in a minute, and then we're going to try to come back to you when we come back. But I just want to say it's almost as if everything's so brittle that it's almost like he has, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a walking x-ray machine. But I almost feel like there's like little fractures, little tears going on there. That's how I see it. And so those were there. And then it's just by the abruptness that was done during his therapy and the movements of him, it's almost like I don't know if you've ever left anything out in the sun for a long time and then you go to pick it up and it starts to crumble in your hands. That's kind of how I see parts of your dad's spine, okay? So it's really kind of challenging. Now, I'm going to tell you that we want to continue this conversation, Janet. I've got to go to commercial for the 8 o'clock hour. And then when we come back, just stay on hold. Don't hang up. We'll do our best to grab you right back here. I would like to continue this conversation, all right? So we're going to say hold, and we're going to go to commercial. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on the Oldies Station. Thank you so much for listening. We're going to be right back for our final hour of Spiritually Speaking.
Where to go? The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be. 'Cause the world is changing now. We can't walk We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart, the ways that worked before.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WFLM 104.7 HD3 Palm Beach Shores, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies channel.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussion to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore.
Don't work anymore.
We
And we are here live on the Oldies Station. And we're welcoming your phone calls at 866-972-7247. The conversations that go on in between. Amazing. Amazing. But, people ask me a lot of questions. Give me a birthday and I'll tell you a story of a person. That's for sure. So anyway, we are going to go back to our phone lines, and we'd love to talk to our friends on Facebook and YouTube. So pop those questions in the feed. And if you're joining us on Facebook and YouTube, I sure would appreciate if you follow Sarah Spiritual on YouTube, and if you share the page and follow Sarah Spiritual on Facebook. And pop on over to Sarah Spiritual on Instagram and hang out with us. And we've got a lot of fun stuff happening at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. We've got some classes coming up. You can learn more about them at SarahSpiritual.com. One is a fabulous Rituals Everyday program to help you learn how to manage connecting to God in an everyday fashion. So we love to teach you little ways to have that. And we have a fabulous class. And then we have an evolutionary program that's starting on April 24th. That's designed to help you build your collective creative consciousness with the universe and yourself, and really help you attune to your guides and your angels. It's a real powerful class. It's changed people's lives since 2013. There's always a different higher vibrational version that's coming out, and we sure would love to have you partake in that class. We are going to go back to our phone line, and we were having a conversation with Janet in Chicago, and Janet was telling us that her dad was experiencing some difficulties, and he has some issues with his back, and we were talking about some work that was done by the osteopath and some of the difficulties he had after that. And so here we are with Janet picking up that conversation that we were having before we went to commercial. Let's see, do we have Janet back on the line?
Yes, I'm still here, Sarah. Thank you.
Perfect. You're welcome. So what is the question about your dad, please?
Well, now for the past month or so, he's had extremely swollen legs and ankles and feet. And it was up to his knees, and now it's his thighs too, and they're very painful, and they're huge, and hard to, they're just, it's awful. It's hard for him to get in and out of the shower and up and down the stairs and in and out of the car. They're just like heavy weights, and I just was wondering if you could offer some kind of a solution, what I could do for him to
Absolutely.
get that down.
What is your dad's birthday?
10/25/29, 1929.
So again, I'm not a doctor, so here we go. I'm going to just jump in a pile of what I am being guided to say that is not based on any medical facts. Have we really spent time with the cardiologist? Really feel like there's something circulatory, something going on with the heart, something going on in that area? What does the doctor say about that?
Well, he had quintuple bypass surgery 17 years ago, and he only goes to his GP now for like his Norco for the pain prescription and a low blood pressure medication, and that's about it that he's taken, except for the Lasix, which he's been on for a while.
Well, again, I'm not a doctor.
So he doesn't want to go to any more he doesn't want to go to doctors anymore because he really wants to die and be in heaven with my mother.
Okay. Well, I understand that. I understand that, but
yeah,
I really feel his heart is going, right? And maybe that's part of a broken heart. I understand that.
Yeah.
But what a way to go, right? That's not a good way to go. Like, there are ways to go, and there's ways that this does not look like him whittling away and swelling up and just being unable to move. That's not even his personality. His personality is nothing like the way he's choosing to exit the planet, okay? So I do feel, my guys are like, okay, we don't care what he wants. He needs to go to a cardiologist. So we're going to have to hog tie him and throw him in the trunk. Let's go, honey, and take him. And it could simply be a bit of medication that he has to adjust. There's a difference between, you close your eyes, you go to sleep, and your heart stops, and next thing you know, he's being greeted by your mom. And there's a whole nother thing with the way he's his body is failing, right? The kidneys, I feel like the kidneys aren't functioning right. The heart's not functioning right. So this is an issue.
Yeah, I mean, if God wants him and it's his soul time, I want him to go, but we don't want to keep him here either. And if it's a soul journey, but I just want him comfortable. I want the fluid gone.
Correct.
The pain used up a little bit anyway, and then he can just go in his sleep, like you said. But this is a horrible way. I mean, he's a happy, fun guy telling jokes, and he still whistles and sings. And I say, Dad, in all the pain you're in, how can you still be whistling and singing and humming? He's just a good guy, and I hate to see him like this. It's heartbreaking.
I understand, Janet. And, I'm not God, but according to the soul plan, this man's train is not leaving the station yet. So he's here for a while. So, let's make the best of this, and let's try to do it in a better way.
Yeah.
And the difference is, in his mind, he wishes it was tomorrow because he's just maybe wishing he was with his wife, your mom.
Yeah.
Right? I understand that.
Right.
But in the way time is flying, the months that I see him here, it'll be that time before we know it. But his real time really could be a whole different time and a whole different experience. And remember, we have free will. So he's choosing this experience, which is ahead of schedule and most certainly most uncomfortable. That's what I'm going to say on the matter. I'm not God. I'm not privy to anybody's times. But when I look at the pulse light, the energy of your dad, and I kind of chart it on the heavens, I feel like he's still got time here. So, he can whistle while he works, but let's at least, feel a little bit better. So,
yeah.
And take it
Sarah,
from
do
there.
you think that we so you think going to a cardiologist and then getting medical adjustment, medicine, will eventually he'll be able to release that fluid? Do you see that happening for him?
I do. Maybe he needs, again, I'm not a doctor, maybe some of the fluids are backing up because the kidneys aren't functioning, right? So we may go to a cardiologist. Right. They may say he has, he's in some type of heart crisis right now, and, the heart is swelling, right? So, but the edema could also be caused by his kidneys, I think. I'm not a doctor. That's just what I'm hearing in my head. And if anybody's a medical professional,
that's what I was thinking.
Please forgive me if they're listening on the other side. This is just what I hear in my head. I'm not here to diagnose anyone. So let's get rid of the fluid. it will make things so much easier for him, because then it backs up, and I just feel like it just cuts his air that way, and that's not what we envisioned for your dad. All right.
Yeah, thank you. So you think, are you guys saying more kidneys than heart, or heart than kidney, or both?
I feel like both need to be checked, because I just feel something's wrong with both of them. So I drew the heart, and apparently the heart has had its problems before because he had his bypass.
Yeah.
So, we want to go backtrack on that. And if that's not in a case of some kind of problem where it's starting to fail, then we know our next stop most likely will be the kidneys. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Sarah, so much. I
Two
so
little
appreciate
visits. You can tie the man and throw him in the trunk. He'll be fine. Just kidding.
I will.
But,
thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for listening to the
couldn't do
show.
it
I'm
anyway.
sorry you have to see your dad like this, but you're right. He is a good guy. He's got a good soul, and I know that your mom's energy is waiting for him, most certainly. And there's a lot of music by her waiting to greet him. So if he really loves music itself, there's a lot of music playing wherever she is in her vortex of energy. Does that make sense
wonderful.
to you?
Thank you so much, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Yes, it does.
All right. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye.
God.
866-972-7247. And we've got to go to Tracy in Fort Lauderdale. Tracy, how are you tonight?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for your call. We're glad to make this connection for you. Miss Tracy, this is really the window of opportunity that if things are feeling out of sorts, out of balance, things you need to put in better order, they're really asking, they being the spirit realm, are asking you to put things in order. Make sure people around you are in order. They're respecting the boundaries and how things have to be. It's important for you and some of the things that you have to put in place for yourself. Does this make sense to you, Tracy?
Yeah, actually, I have been doing that over the last probably month, so that makes sense.
Perfect. And that's something we want to continue to do until everything's in its right place and in alignment. And, you like to take charge, like to make things happen. So sometimes you have to learn to surrender and let things unfold for you, because you are very good at creating things. And, of course, there's just about nothing you can't do. You are really good at just about everything you set your mind to. Tracy, what is your burning question for me tonight?
Oh, well, there are some male energy circling around, and not people I'm dating really, but that I have interest in, and just kind of want to see where you see any of that.
Well,
what the hell is happening? I guess.
What is happening in the energy of, love and relationships along that way as far as dating, right? In the world of dating. So as I move you into the path of May, June, they say July and August. So that window, right? They kind of break it down. And there are 3 people who are kind of circling, please. Are there 3 people?
Yeah.
Okay.
There is.
I see 3. They'll be coming around the mountain when they come. Okay. So we got these 3 people circling the wagons, so to speak. And I see here that over this period of time, and we need to entertain, oh, you're going to be a busy girl, honey. We need to entertain all 3 of them a bit. To really come to a better understanding of what your signal is, your energetic blueprint of what you're asking for in a partner, right? Because I feel like you need to get a little clearer, Tracy, on what you want in a partner. What are the qualities? What do we want from them? And the minute you start to focus and you're going to write a list, I want them honest, loyal, kind, compassionate, funny, well-spoken, dedicated, hardworking, financially secure. Just rattle off what's important. I want you to come up with 100 qualities. I want you to write it on a piece of paper and fold it and put it in your wallet. The minute you do that, chances are one of them is going to drop off somewhere coming into May. going to be like musical chairs. We're going to pull a chair. They don't have a place to sit. They're out. Then we're going to have June. June's going to come in, right? And then I see 2 people there. And here's the funny part. Someone else comes in. So now you're back to 3 people. We don't have the same amount of chairs, so somebody's going to still have to go. And I feel like one of these other 3 is going to go, but you're still going to have 2 people. And it's going to be up to you how you want to interpret their connection with you. And if any of them are the one for you. This is the year, 2025, is the year that you create primary partnership, relationship connection of someone that you can really call a friend, a companion, a partner. This is the year that like the energy is right to be like, okay, give her her choices. Let's see if we can get her to focus and get it done in this year. And it's there for you.
Well, there's one that's from my past.
Okay.
That kind of came back around.
He was coming around the mountain.
And then there is one that I've been kind of entertaining, but that's kind of got some
baggage.
Challenge, yeah.
Baggage.
And then there's one that recently came around that is, I fear, is scared to death, but that is the person we connected. We talked on the phone for 9 hours. Who does that in their 50s? You know, it just doesn't happen all that much anymore. And then he like freaked out. And then he's like taking a step back and like almost afraid to talk to me.
Well, Tracy, first of all, if he can't handle a 9-hour conversation, what kind of person is he? Right? So
no,
remember what I
said. It was the best conversation with a person.
Ever. I understand, but I need you to hear me.
Yeah, ever.
I know that because it was a soul connection, but you see, he's not as advanced spiritually. So, something else to put on the list. We want somebody who is spiritually aware and looking to spiritually grow. We want someone who is of like-minded beliefs, right? Something else to put on your list. I promise you, you write your list, one of these people are going to drop off. And maybe when you write your list, the one who freaked himself out may pop back up. But I do see someone dropping off.
He's the one.
You think he's the one, or is he the one who's emotionally unavailable for you like all the other people were and you're just repeating a pattern? That's the lesson we're going to find out when we make our list and we open up the universe and tell him, bring it on.
But he is all those things on my list.
Well, then fold it and put it in your purse, in your wallet. Trust me on this. We need to see who's who because all right, so he realizes, wow, this is intense. I didn't think I was ready for something like that. Now I've got to go back and get my act together because I'm not ready. Okay, we can understand that life and love catch us by surprise. Did you know people fall in love by surprise and love catches us by surprise and it's not always the right circumstances around the fact that people are falling in love, but life finds a way of making it happen? Did you know that? So, sometimes we have to wait for it all to line up perfectly again. Yeah. So it lined up well enough for a conversation. Now we've got to get it to line up well enough. So you carry your list. And remember I said, other people will come in. So let's just see.
Interesting.
I see.
What do you see about this guy from the past?
What is his birthday?
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we need to know this stuff. You're making me think I need to do a love and relationship show. That's what I need to do. I need to do one of those.
I do know the one from the other one, the one that I want it to be. I do know his.
Well, poor thing. He doesn't even know he's being hunted. But anyhow, what is his birthday? Poor guy.
2/27/72.
All right. Well, at least he's in a good place for this energy of
love. I love all
love.
the 2s and 7s.
Yeah. Well, he's in a good place for love as far as the energy is right for love. But, he gets a little emotionally wishy-washy, and he's very much known to freak himself out. So he does that kind of often. So we're going to have to see how that plays out for you. But give it some time. Please make the list. The list works. You can manifest anything with that list. Anything. So make it happen.
So what months did you say? May, June, July?
In August, it's going to be like a journey here of love here. So we're on the love train. Love train. Get on the love train, honey, and just go and see who gets on and off the train. And then you decide.
Yeah, I would like for someone to just be able to kind of pull the trigger already. Damn it.
Well, that's all
Oh,
right.
my goodness.
Well, no, because we want to make sure we're not repeating the patterns of the past. Because remember, I can see your past too, and we want to have a grand new future. All right, so we don't want the past.
You're right.
We don't want to repeat those stories.
No,
They already
you're
did
right.
you in. Okay, they almost had you lying on the
Right.
tracks. Now we're at least in the train. We got the sleeper car right there. We just don't know who's going in there with you. All right. So thank you so much for your call,
Okay.
Tracy. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for holding. I know you were waiting for us, and we appreciate that as well. All right.
All
Bye
right,
for now.
appreciate you.
Bye. 866-972-7247. Yep, we got to do a love show. Just know. So someone make a note. We're going to add it to our repertoire here. We're due for a love show. So we've got to go to Dallas, Texas, and we have Esther on the line. Esther, are you there?
Yes, I am, Sarah. How are you?
I'm good. Good to have you joining us here on the Oldies Station, even though you're in Texas. We thank you so much for listening. And how do you hear the show, Esther? How do you get us all the way in Texas?
I've been following you for many years, Sarah.
I know, but are you watching the show on Facebook, on YouTube? How do you listen to our show? Are you
I'm listening on YouTube, driving on the highway, going to work.
All right, great to know. See, I love that YouTube, and I know some people listen to us on the iHeart app as well, and so many different ways that people can listen to us. So, Miss Esther, how are you tonight? What is your burning question for us?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. And yourself?
What is the question for us?
How are you?
I'm good.
My question for you. Okay, good. My question is, I hope I get lucky because the other callers prior to me have similar questions. I'm trying to find out about my godson, which passed away on January 6th. His birthday would have been March 21st, 1989. His funeral was just this Saturday. I'm wondering if there's any message, if you could connect with him.
Okay, let's see what we've got here. Still not a lot of time, so I'm going to see if I can catch him in the ethers here. So bear with me.
No worries.
And is there a T connected to your family here? Who's T?
T. Ooh, can't think right now.
Okay.
On the other side?
Yeah, we'll leave that there for now. It's not clear. It's just in the energy, so just recognizing that.
Oh, okay.
Here.
Uh-huh.
This, too, was unexpected, yes?
Yep. He was fatally killed.
I thank you. I was just about to say, and was there like a gunshot? Because I feel something like right in his chest.
Yes, it got gunshot.
Yeah, that's what I see. A gunshot. I do said I feel a pain right in my chest when I connect in his energy, and I feel that, and very sudden, very unexpected.
Yes.
I don't feel like he suffered much. I feel like his energy left his body at the minute of impact. I feel like he pretty much died right there. Is that true?
I think so. They rushed him to the hospital, but it looks as if, based on what the driver told me, he slumped over on him. And so we think he probably...
Yeah, I think he pretty much, in those first few minutes, passed. And there was 2 other people with him at the time, please? Do you know the story?
I heard it was 5 of them in the car. I'm not sure, but that's what I heard.
I don't know. I feel like he went with 2 people somewhere. There's 2 people connected to the story, or maybe there's 2 people responsible for the gunshot. I guess we'll find out. Okay,
sure.
They're showing me two people connected to this, so maybe it's two people who came up on them, because that's how I see it. It kind of came up on him. We are truly sorry.
Two people came up on them.
Yes, that's what I see. I just see two people with him. So those are the two people. Did they catch them?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, from what I see, the energy of one, when I see him in the physical world, one of these two people who came up on your nephew, one of them is Godson. Is very, he's tall, but he's bulky.
Oh. Okay.
But I'm sure they'll catch them.
Yes.
Your godson wants you to know he is okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's at peace.
Well, that is good.
But it's definitely a very erratic, crazy situation that went down right before he got shot.
Huh.
So, we're truly sorry for this loss, Esther. We know that this, we hear these stories, but then when they hit close to the home, it's very overwhelming. Very overwhelming.
Of course. Yes.
Esther, I am going to just disconnect from this call for us now, because I need to kind of disconnect from your godson here.
Okay. All right. Well,
his
thank
energy
you so
is
much.
very around us. Please light a candle for him, and he'll be with you. All right.
I did.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Bye for now. 866-972-7247. Yes, sometimes when we connect with others on the other side, it's not always quite this great feeling of a reunion when we make the connection, given the way someone may pass. And that most certainly was a very tragic exit from the planet. So we do send light to Esther's godson at this time. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we have to go to Lake Worth, we have to go to Fort Lauderdale, and all around the country. So I sure would love to talk to you in our last half hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Know you, have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, all across the nation at 866-972-7247. And we're looking forward to talking to you in these next few minutes before we close the show. So if you'd like to join the conversation, pick up the phone. We have some callers also waiting to be spoken to, and we will get to you in just a moment. I've got to visit my friends on Facebook and YouTube and see what we've got going on Facebook and YouTube. Got some questions for us. So we're going to go to Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and see what we've got going on in our Facebook page. We got Joy Walkenford. She says, would love to know what the next step is. Put one foot in front of the other. And so when I look at this, I really want you to focus on how to expand your finances, how to grow emotionally here this year too. So it's a financial year, but it's also a year of like emotional growth and kind of really making peace with some people and being at peace with yourself and the relationships, and then looking at where can I go to make a shift and a change that's going to benefit me, and the choice I make will really reap rewards for me for the next 15 to 20 years. So they want you to really take a look and expand yourself financially, and that may mean we're going to make a shift or a change for something that benefits you in a work, career, life balance, and that's going to be most beneficial for you. Make a list of what you want to accomplish, Joy, and then break it down with a few items that you feel are your very next steps to accomplish that, and begin to put that out into the universe, and the universe will answer you and will bring you new opportunities so that you can expand yourself. Thank you so much, Joy Walkenford, for your Facebook question. Let's take another one from Facebook or YouTube before we go back to our phone lines at 866-972-7247. We've got Chris Cottom. Chris says, hello, friends. Will my relationship end this year? Thank you. So, Chris, as we take a look at this relationship here, we look at this energy and we say, this year is really a year for you to focus on how to situate yourself financially. I feel like, Chris, we need to put some things together for abundance. I feel like if this relationship is going to end, it really could end in the 2026 time more than it would now. But the question you want to ask yourself is, do you really want this relationship to end? I don't see it happening just at this minute, Chris, which means that this decision in the universe and a free will of both of you is not really written in stone yet. So I don't really know that that's going to happen in this year. So focus on what you would like to have happen, and let's see if the universe can support you in that for your highest and best good. Thank you, Chris Cottam. We greatly appreciate you. Let's take our next caller on our phone board. Let's see, who do we have here? Can I go to Vicky in Lake Worth? Let's see if we've got Vicky in Lake Worth. Do we have Vicky? Vicky, are you with us? Maybe we don't. Vicky, are you there? Okay. Sounds like Vicky actually went for a swim and she forgot to let us know that she was going for a swim. And so we just went underwater with the mermaids and Vicky. So let's go to Christine in Fort Lauderdale and let's see if we can speak to Christine. Christine, are you there?
Yes. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, Christine. Good to talk to you here this evening. When we look at this beautiful energy around you, I really want you to focus on how you can enhance your life and be more creative. That's really something that's very important for you, to be creative and really kind of break your routine. Are you feeling, Christine, a little stuck and stagnant? Is that how you're feeling?
Yes, sometimes, yes.
And you're feeling a little overwhelmed that things aren't going the way you'd like them to. Is that true?
Yeah,
okay.
That's true.
Christine, what is your question for us tonight?
I was wondering if Spirit sees anything for my mother that passed away. It's going to be almost a year ago. If she has any... if she said any messages.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. So let's tune into that energy there. Mom passed. She was young. She passed. She wasn't that old, correct? She's young when she passed.
Yeah, 78.
Yeah, still considered young these days,
70.
right? But she's making me feel like she felt like she went before her time. She felt like she wasn't ready to go. She still had a lot of life in her. Your mom is what she's making me feel, and she makes me feel like she had the life of the party. Does she have this energy of May and June? Is there something connected to your mom with May and June, please?
June. She died June 11th.
Okay, there you go. Thank you, because she's taking me to that period of time there. So she died June 11th. She wants you to know she loves you. She's talking about, are there two other people in the family besides you? She's talking about two. I'm looking after the two. Who are the two, please?
There's my sister Paula and Katrina, and there's another sister, Tara.
She's looking after two people. Or does someone have two children, or she's showing me two people that she's looking after? The two people here on Earth she's looking after.
My sister Paula has 2 girls.
Yes. Okay.
And Tara has 3 kids.
Okay. No, now don't get everyone all fighting amongst themselves, but Mom is really clear that she's looking after 2 of these 2 girls. Are they a little bit on the younger side? Are they younger, please?
Yes.
Okay.
They're
She's
younger.
with them. She's looking after them like a grandmother would, even though she's not here to be with them, babysit with them, spend summer with them. This is what she's making me aware of. Does this make sense to you, honey?
Yes.
Mom was very involved with family. Is that true?
Yeah.
And she's talking to me about, interesting, baking a pie. Did your mom used to like to bake a pie, Christine?
She liked pumpkin pie a lot.
Yeah. She's talking about baking a pie. So there's something about pie she's talking about to me. Seems weird, I know, but they show me some of the most interesting things here. She also said that at the time of her passing, after she passed, not everybody was really on the same page there for a while. Is that true? We were having a little difficulty amongst ourselves, please.
Yes, that's true.
And she's also making me feel that now things are a little better between everyone. It was a lot of everyone's emotions were running high. You have a very interesting family, and you guys get along, but also when you don't get along, it gets very intense. Is that true?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
She's also talking to me about a new job, a new opportunity for you. Christine, are you looking for a new job?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. She's going to be there with you. She's going to help you. What is your question? She's very much sending love, and she says thank you. Thank you for what you did.
I was actually there when she passed away.
I know.
I gave her last hug, and I told her it was okay to go.
Yeah. She said thank you. Thank you for what you did. So she truly is at peace. I know it's really hard for us, Christine, because, I know you thought you had more time with your mom, and it's hard to see them go, but we also don't want to see her suffer, yes? And she makes me feel like things were starting to shut down on her, and so that was difficult for her. And so you didn't want her to suffer. You have a necklace connected to her, please?
Yes.
Yeah. Because she makes me feel like she's connected to you by something around your neck, yes?
Yeah, I have a necklace of hers that she had for years.
And it was something she just loved it, and it held a lot of energy. And it really represents your mom, like who she was.
Right. She loved Egypt stuff. It was an Egypt, I forgot, a goddess, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Like Cleopatra or something?
And, right.
Or a sphinx, something
and
like
then,
that.
My brother passed away 4 months after her.
And he
was cancer also.
Yeah, he was. But his cancer came quick and he passed quick. Is that true, please?
I believe so. Yeah.
I don't feel like he was sick for years and then he passed. I feel like it came and he was gone in a short time. It went quickly through his body. Is that true, Christine?
Yes. He had it's like a blood cancer or something like that.
Like a leukemia or something?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's called John something cancer. I'm not sure. But and then before all that happened, my sister passed away in April. On my sister's birthday, April 14th. And that was like a couple years ago.
Yeah. So who's the Christine? Who's the A connected to the family, please?
A.
Yes.
I would not know actually because I have a sister named Tara Ann.
Okay. And did anybody call her Ann or Annie or something like that? Okay. So someone has the letter A connected to them here, so I'm not sure who that is. That could be someone else on the other side that you're not familiar with here. Your sister passed April 14th, and you had a dream with her, did you not?
No, actually I didn't.
Okay. She's going to look for her to come to you around her her anniversary on the 14th. Because she's been trying to get through to you. Because she left a lot of things like undone. Things weren't settled around her. Is that true?
Yes.
Like things were a bit of a mess after she passed. Is that true?
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, truly, it's been a time of great loss for you, and we are sorry for this experience that you have. We have in the energy your brother, your mother, your sister.
I also lost my father too.
Yeah, I was just about to say
My
your father. Yes, I have your dad there as well. And then there is interesting. Your father's been gone for a while, though, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Since
Because he makes me feel.
2013.
Yeah, he makes me feel like he was there to greet your mom. He was there to greet your brother. He was there to greet your sister. Yeah, he's been there greeting everyone and making sure that everyone is reunited on the other side. He kind of had that way of bringing people together. He had his own quirks, though, in his personality. So he makes me feel that he loved to bring people together, but he could also be a little difficult at times. Is that true?
He had his stubborn times.
Yeah.
He was a little
But he
stubborn.
loved to bring people together. That's something that he loved to
Right.
do. All right, and so
Yeah, he
he
did.
he really loves family, and what is that? Okay, so they want you to know that when you talk to them, just know that they are in the energy and they can feel you and hear you, and they don't want to see you sad when you're in this energy of sorrow. It's hard for them to
Okay.
connect to you, so when you're in this energy of peace and tranquility, you can actually feel them, see them. Do you have a hat of your brother's or your father's or something? Do you have one of their hats, hat, please?
I think my dad, he had a hat.
Yeah, because I'm being shown a hat from the other side. Did your dad used to like to wear a hat often when he used to go out?
Yeah, he liked hats. He collected baseball cards and stuff like that. Sports. He always watched football, baseball, and all the sports.
Christine, how did you hear about the show? Is this your first time calling? Have we spoken before?
We have spoken before, and my mother, Frances Powers, she always called you also.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
But
Well.
before, I don't know if she called you before she passed, but she called you a lot of times.
Yes, it was a while. It was a while before that I had spoken to her, so I didn't get to talk to her when she was sick. So we're sorry for your loss, honey. We're getting ready to close out the show. We trust we've been of service to you. Know that you are fully supported on the other side. Grandma and Grandpa are there as well, so it's a big reunion there on the other side. But you and your sisters here have quite a lot to do on Earth, and the little ones are being looked after by your mom. All right, so just tell your sister with the little ones that Mom's got them, so don't worry. All right?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye for now.
Have a great.
You too. Bye. 866-972-7247. I'd love to talk to you next Wednesday night at 6:30 to 9 p.m. and we will explore whatever Spirit's message is for us, and then we will go back to the phone lines and chat, and also go to our friends on Facebook and YouTube. It's always a pleasure when I can be the conduit of energy that bridges the connection between you and your loved ones on the other side. It's always a powerful experience for me, and we know that so many people are missing their loved ones here on Earth. It's always an honor to give you that comfort that you need. But trust that the universe is with you, supporting you. God and the angels are always present. And no matter what you're going through, not only is God cheering you on and bringing you the assistance, but your loved ones, they're there too. They're there giving you a sign, whether it's a bird, a dragonfly, a butterfly, whether it's a song that reminds you of them, whether it's just the sense or the feeling or even seeing them in a dream. They're always there letting you know that they are doing their best to be with you even though you cannot see them. And that when you cry, they really want you to find the joy here on life and know that they're at peace on the other side, and that Your tears are not necessary for them because they are at peace. And I know that's one of the hardest things for us to handle as humans, for us not to cry and miss our loved ones, miss our pets, miss all those who are no longer here on earth. But we have to come to the understanding that we have a journey here on life and we're still here for a reason. And we need to carry on their legacy, carry on what they have shown us and taught us, and that people have come into our life for reasons, and they are near and dear to us, and they are a part of our story. Well, we sure hope that you visit us at the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. I'd love to see you, have you visit our center, shop, buy some books, crystals, singing bowls, statues, jewelry, whatever is in alignment with your spiritual practices. And I'd love to have a session with you at the Expedito Enlightenment Center live and sit across and spend 30 minutes with you so we can really explore our loved ones on the other side and talk about life and where you are on the journey and maybe where we might have made a wrong turn and help you recalculate the route moving forward. So I'd love to have that experience with you. And if you're not local here in South Florida, that's okay. We can do it via phone or a video. So just trust that we all come together at the perfect time. And I'd love to have you participate in our classes at Expedito Enlightenment Center. You can learn more about them at SarahSpiritual.com. As always, it's an honor to be a part of this experience with you. I know the world has really gone through quite a bit of shifts and changes, and I know many people are very concerned. I hear that every day. But remember one thing. It doesn't matter who's in the White House. What matters is God's in charge. The angels are there. And when you talk and you pray, God has a solution and an answer, and God's hand is on everything, even the things that we don't understand at this moment. And if I were you, I would be in gratitude for all that you have, the great world you have, the great country you live in, and be in the joy of knowing that you were given the task of being here on earth and being a good person and sharing light and love and doing your best to be kind to others and influencing. And know that although we may not all agree, that we are all here for a purpose, and that purpose is to carry on the expression of God and to carry the light and love for ourselves, our families, and to pass that on to others. So pray for peace and find peace within your heart and know that peace is the answer for us and for all of our neighbors. We wish you the best this week. We know that we've got a solar eclipse coming, so things are going to be shaken up. And we'd love to meet with you next Wednesday night, right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah on the Oldies Station. We wish you the best. Good night. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
And we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answer your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at SarahSpiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar.